is as a vapor. It's here and gone one day. Then they'll bury us in a graveyard. But thank God that's not the end. When Jesus comes that morning, our life will just begin. Flying without an airplane, transportation on silver wing, carried home by the Master. It's enough to make you sing. And when Jesus comes that morning, like a bird I'll be gone. What a wonderful way to go home. Now I have my things in order, my reservation, they're all made. I got my ticket when I knelt down to pray. Now I'm waiting for my captain to come along this way. He'll say, let's go on, children, and our souls are gonna fly away. Flying without an airplane, transportation on silver wing, carried home by the Master. Children, it's enough to make you sing. And when Jesus, he'll come that morning, like a bird will be gone. What a wonderful way to go home. That's one thing that we're all going to experience together, is flying home to see the Master. And on a cloud of glory. And if we're here today, and I can tell you one thing, there's not a one in this house can tell me that you'll be here tomorrow. There's not a one in this house. Somebody said, well, I'm planning on being, but tell me that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're going to be here tomorrow. Don't know that. Don't know that. But we have a great consolation that if we're not here tomorrow, that we're going to be in a better place than this. And somebody said, well, you old Baptists just preach that all you have is a hope. And, we kind of set the definitions of that word just a little different than what maybe they'll teach us in school or what the dictionary will define hope is. We kind of set it like this, that our hope is Jesus Christ, anchored in the soul, both sure and steadfast and unmovable. It's a hope today, not like we hope, Sister Darlene, that we'll get out of here. There's no security in that. There's no positiveness in that. But our hope is that Jesus Christ, anchored in the soul, is what assures us that we're going to heaven someday when this life's over with. I used to hear people debate whether or not you knew if you were going to heaven or not. And the best way that I know to sum it up is I used to say years ago, I don't want people preaching to my family that don't even know where they're going themselves. You have to know how to get there, and you have to know where the final destination is. And if you do that, you know where you're headed to. We're headed to heaven's land. We're headed there. And the devil will knock at your door, and he'll pick on you a lot and try to make you feel that you're not nothing. And that's his job, and he does a good job of it. But I'm going to tell you today that when we can get in meetings and can feel like that, what we have felt here today, it just reassures us that flame inside just burns a little bit brighter. And I'll tell you one thing, that flame will never go out. It will never go out. It's a flame today that sometimes gets so hot that I have to get up off my seat. I have to get up off my seat. And Brother Jeremiah seems to have that effect on me for some reason. Sometimes he'll get right underneath my skin and I can't sit on my seat and listen to him. There's a lot of joy in serving God. I enjoy my brothers and my sisters. And I want you today to be able to feel what we feel and what we've been listening to. I don't want to take anything away. This song, I woke up this morning humming on it. And it's only about 3 verses long, but it's got a lot of meaning to it. We've all been there, we've all done that. But there's one thing about it, but because of Jesus, the end turned out good, Sister Barb. With Him, it'll turn out good in your life. You're not promised that you'll have a bed of roses here in this life. I thought of Brother Jeremiah, can't hear. Brother Joe back here, can't hardly see. Sister Dana had to tell him who I was and put his hand out to me, but he knew. He knew when I spoke who I was. Today, if you've got those things, if you've got good hearing and you've got good eyesight this morning, you've got a lot to be thankful for. You've got a lot to be thankful for. You may say, well, I've got a little cold, or I'm stopped up, or I've got a headache today. What's that? What is that? What is that in comparison to your neighbor sitting beside of you? It's nothing. What's that compared to a man dying on a cross and giving his life for you? It's nothing. It's nothing. I had nothing but heartache and trouble. I was seeking for fortune and fame. I had nothing but doubts and confusion. And now I have everything. I have everything I need to make me happy. I have Jesus to show me the way. He has saved me and He gave me life eternal. And now I have everything. I was making big plans for my future. I was living my lifetime in vain. Then I prayed for life's only meaning. And now I have everything. I have everything I need to make me happy. I have Jesus to show me the way. He has saved me and He gave me life eternal. And now I have everything. We can sing that, Brother Glenn, because we're happy. We know that where we've been, we know where we're headed to. And I hope just what little bit I'm in front of you that God will lift me up. And I know this may cause some of you guys to laugh a little bit, but this morning when I got up early, I began to say, and something began to cross my mind, and I said, Lord, I don't want to preach on that today. And somebody say, you told the Lord that? And I said, yeah. And the thought come to my mind, and I took this one time at a church, and some of you brother may have been there, and the way it just come out, and I don't know, but I'm not going to run from it, Brother Jerry, and if God will bless me, I will, and if He don't, I'll let one of you brethren, your Brother Jerry, come and preach. But the question began to come on my mind, and are you a bastard today? And somebody says, oh, that's a bad word. You know, the Bible is the only one that actually defined that word, the word bastard. And there's a reason for that word. Somebody said, well, it means someone that don't know their father. No, it means someone that don't have a father. And there isn't a person naturally so here on this earth that doesn't have a father. Is that right? And we all believe that today because of the fact that we know and understand how that we're born here in this land. But the question is today, are you a bastard? And you may say, well, preacher, what are you getting to? Jesus answered that. God did. He said that he that I loveth, I chastiseth. He that I don't is a bastard and not a son. There's only one way that you can absolutely be what's defined the word a bastard, and that's to be without God the Father. Now somebody says, that hurts, preacher. Well, it just has to hurt. And it's what it says today. It means that you're without Him. And today, friend, the question is to you that's here, that's lost. You know the answer now, because I just told you what the answer was. And that's, if you don't have God in your life, you're a bastard. And he that I loveth, I chastiseth. Now, let's see today what that means. Somebody said, well, you know, I don't know how many of you have been watching a little bit, but in the mornings when I'm up, I'll watch the news and I'll begin to listen to what they're saying. And there's a lot of things going on about all the shootings and stuff, and everybody's wanting to impress this and wanting to impress that. And I'll tell you today, friend, that there was a time in my life that there was a simple thing that was about this long a day and made of wood that scared me enough and kept me in line that I knew better today. And then that was in school today. And then there at home, there was something that grew on the trees that kept me scared enough today. Listen, Brother Jerry. And when I done that I shouldn't do, Mom would say, go cut me a limb. And I'd cut that and I'd bring it to her today, only to be whooped with it. Why did Mom do that, Brother Jerry? Because she loved me today. If you don't show no concern towards your children today, if you don't show no correction towards your children, don't tell them you love them today. Correction is love, brother. Give me a cup of water, brother. Today, correction today is not being mean. I'll tell you how you be mean to a child. You don't give it no direction in life. That's the meanest you could ever be to it. You don't tell it what's right and what's wrong. Today, that's the meanest you could ever be to it today. But if you got up this morning and your children was laying in bed and you didn't wake them up and tell them you're going to church, you're wrong than they are for staying home. Listen today. If you got up this morning and you didn't give them something and tell them that. Somebody said, well, preacher, I don't believe in making people go to church. Friend, listen today. The Bible says that to raise up a child in the way that it should go. That way when it's older, it won't depart from him. Today, it doesn't say in the way that you would have it to go. Today, there's ways that people would have it to go that would be wrong. Listen today. Now, this may not settle right with everyone. Listen today, but we had a lot of honey in Brother Jeremiah's preaching. That's why I said, Lord, I don't want to preach on that. Listen today, but people need to understand today, a gun don't go off unless you pull the trigger. But who pulls the trigger today? Today is the problem today a lot. And where does it start? It starts right in the homes. We're living in a land today where most children are in broken homes. Parents are divorced. A lot different than what it used to be today. He said, listen, when you see all these things come to pass, even though you know that the end of time is nigh, even right at the door. Listen, listen, all these things that's written today has already been written and told that it's going to happen. Listen, many kings throughout the land we can find has already tried to become kings and set up kingdoms. Today, Osama bin Laden, today, he had his own kingdom there and thought he was doing pretty good, Brother Jerry. Listen, today, and they'll all fall sooner or later, but some dummy will turn around and try it again. But God said, you'll see all these things come to a pass. Listen, what else will you see today? There's been men that's led people, listen, as far as they can and promised them that something was going to happen and nothing, and them knowing in their heart that nothing was going to happen today. And when they get to that point, they convince them all to kill themselves. That's the way they tell them they're going to go on over. I'm going to tell you something today. Oh, friend, when our breath leaves our body today, friend, listen, I believe that God Himself, that He said all souls are mine, but the soul that sinneth shall surely die. I believe He gives us our breath, and we do live. Listen, today He blesses us within. Today, run and pray. Pray hard. Listen, today, what do you want me to pray hard for, Jason? Listen, I want to show you a king that built a great, listen, a statue. You have it out of gold, a great image. Listen, the Bible said that he built it. Listen, and he built it 70 meaning 70 feet tall. Listen, that's pretty tall, isn't it? Listen, oh, friend, listen, but he commanded everyone to come and listen, to bow down and worship this statue. Listen, idol, godless image, or whatever you want to call it. And he told them all, he said that when the flutes, when all these things begin to play, you're to bow down, listen, and worship him. Oh, friend, I'm glad today that the Bible says, because he built it and it was in his image. Listen, King Nebuchadnezzar, he made the decree go out. Listen, but there was 3 young men. Listen, you see, young people, he that I love it, I chastise. Oh, he that I don't is listen. Today is a bastard, not a son. These 3 boys knew their father. They loved their father. How much did they love him, Jason? Listen, today, oh, here was the decree today. If you don't bow down, you'll be cast into the fiery furnace. Listen, and today, friend, here's what happened. They called for these 3 boys to come, and here's what happened to them. He took them, and listen, they began to play the flute, they began to play all the harms, and the music began to sound. Listen, and they stood. I wasn't there, Brother Ronnie. I didn't see, but I believe. That when it began to play, boldly they stood with their chest plate on. Listen, somebody said, you mean that a chest plate on? I believe they did of righteousness. I believe they had a protection shield. They knew that, listen, they're not going to bow down when the music started. No, I'm not going to bow down. Oh, and when it started, listen, they didn't bow down. Listen, people began to wonder and amaze. Why? Listen, because the old king, he was for sure about his promise. I'll cast you in to a fiery furnace. Listen, today, and you know what happened today, friend? They still stood there and not bowed, and people no doubt thought, why won't they bow? They're going to be killed. Listen, and the old king hastily said, cast them in the fiery furnace. But before you do that, oh, Oh, heat it up 7 times harder than what it is. Listen, you imagine that today, a friend, it takes 1,625 degrees to cremate a body to ash. I couldn't imagine what it would have done to them. I'll tell you what it done to them. Listen, the Bible left us a little record of that, didn't it? Oh, the judge, the one that cast him in, when he went with them and cast him in, the Bible said it consumed him, didn't it? It even caught him, but the old king, listen, got worried about it. Bless the Lord today. I love him today. I love him today. Why? Why? Because I'm glad that he's still walking in the fire today. Mothers, what is the fire? What is the fire? Listen, it's when you're gouged left and right. It's when heartaches abound you at night. Listen, it's when sorrows encompass you, and it's when the mountains are too high to climb. Oh, today, listen, that's when Jesus says, child, I'm not here. I'll never leave him. I'll never forsake him. There's never been a teardrop fall, mothers, from your eyes that he didn't recognize. Oh, there's never been a time that Jesus has not been there. Listen, what are you talking about, Jason? Boys, I feel good this morning. Listen, I love him today. I love you, Jesus. Why do you love me, son? Oh, because, listen, when I'm hungry, he feeds me. When I'm thirsty, he gives me something to drink. Listen, he's my shepherd today. And I'm glad to be just a little lamb. Listen, but what happened, Jason, when those kings, when the king went to look? Listen, I'm going to tell you what happened. He looked down and he saw, he said, didn't we can 3 in? Oh, yes, we can 3 in. Oh, well, I see 4. I see 4. Listen, James, when he looked and he saw that 4th, he described him even, that old king even knew who was down there. Oh, listen, one like unto the Son of God. Listen, oh, he was walking in the fire with him. He's still walking in the fire today. A friend, if you want joy in your life, listen, get Jesus in him. He'll walk with you in the hard times. He'll walk with you in the good times. How many times, mothers, has he walked there for him? Listen, just be still, the song said. I believe I heard him walking in the cool of the day. Oh, was I sat by the side of the road. By the side of the road gets weary sometimes. You better believe it. Oh, but when Jesus comes by, he says, joy, joy abounds my soul. Listen, but I see one like in the Son of God walking in the fire. I'm going to tell you today, those 3 boys, they weren't bastards. They, listen, was loved. They was chastised. Listen, I'm going to tell you what, friend, Christian men and women, before you leave this world, listen, you might be cast into a furniture cell. You have rough roads to walk. Listen, somebody said, I want to get Jesus in my life so everything will be great. I'm going to tell you something, friend. You're not promised a bed of roses here in this land, Sister Katie. God knows my heart sure hasn't been for this old boy, but oh, when I wake in his likeness, I'll be satisfied. Oh, listen, I'll see heaven for myself and not another. Are you ready to go, children? Are you ready to go? Boys, listen. Do you ever say, Lord, if there's anything in my way, Lord, just move it out, Jesus. Listen, I've never felt where there's nothing there in the way. It'd be great if you just called right now. It'd be a short step, Bo, from here to heaven. Oh, my Savior will be worth it all in the morning. What do you mean, Jason? I'm going to see Him for myself and not another. Can you promise me that? I can, friend. Listen, somebody said, it seems too real. Listen, or it seems too hard to believe today. Too hard to believe. I'm going to tell you what. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered the hearts of men the good things that God has got laid up for Him. I thought of Sister Liz when she came home last Sunday night. Listen, today it brought so much joy to me thinking of her dad. Listen, her dad was like a dad to me. Listen, today, oh, listen, I believe that if God has saved your soul, you want to get in the house and work. Somebody said, where's the house at? Right among the children of God. Brother, we don't have them all. We don't have them all. Listen, today, but I want to believe that we've got a good portion. We've got a good part of them today. Listen, I'm not talking about numbers, brother. I'm talking about good people today. Listen, I want to live with you here. I want to shout with you here. I want to get up with you in the morning. When you go to heaven, boy, I want to be with you today. Somebody said, why, Jason? You won't know us over there. Oh, no. I'll know every one of you over there in that land. Sister Regina, your mother, I'll know in that land. I'll never forget when she's laying there on her deathbed, pulled me close to side her. Listen there, right before she went in at a hospice, I believe, and she said, I want you to stand over me when I die. Listen, it was an old timer's way. Listen, I'm telling you, they want you to preach their funeral. Listen, you know what? It wasn't hard to preach over Sister Molly. Why? Because, listen, I could tell where she went to. I could tell her children and her grandchildren. Just get ready. It's not over with you. We'll meet in the morning when the row is called up yonder. I'll be there. I'll be there. Let us sing of the joy of Jesus. Listen, when the row is called up yonder, I'll be there. Tell my name, Lord, and I'll answer. Listen, just point me a place, hide me away for a little while. Because, boys, I'll get up to shout, glory, glory, glory. In a land where we'll never grow old in land. It'll be joy, it'll be happiness in that land. Church doors are open. They're open for receiving members today. I love Him today, friend, because He first loved me. Oh, friend, today, you'll never know how good He is today. Do you taste of Him? I sat under His shadow. I sat under His shadow with great delight, and His fruit was sweet to my taste. Brother Jeremiah, the son. Oh, if I never see you again, Brother Jeremiah, I'll meet you in glory. I'll meet you in glory. Tell my daughter just to come on over home. I'm looking for Him to come any day. If I could shut my eyes right now, I'd be willing to say, oh Lord, let me go, let me go. I've got loved ones in that city. I've got loved ones waiting there. Sister Barb, I love you today. Heaven's real. I don't know when I've felt this good in a long time. I felt good so many times. The boys, heaven is real today. Heaven, sweet heaven, how I long for thee. When will I ever get there? That bright day may come tomorrow. That bright day may come tomorrow. Listen today, if you're here today and you're lost, I'm going to tell you something, friend. You ought not leave here till you say, Lord, I want you in my life. God, I'm not leaving till you save me. Somebody says, you mean I can do that, preacher? You better believe you can. If God, listen, if you're sincere with your whole heart, soul, mind, and strength. He said, I'll be found with you. Oh, and if God has reached down and saved your soul, you ought to get up and tell people, I know who you're talking about, Jason. I know who you're singing about. Why I didn't know I met him today. He came to me when I was lost. He came to me when no one else could help me out. And He saved my soul. What a joy, brother, what a joy. Oh, friend, if you're hungry today, come and eat. If you're thirsty, come and drink. All the bride says, come. All of whomsoever will come. And taste of the water of life freely. I wasn't there when the boys come out of the fire, but I want to believe with all my heart. I know that old Nebuchadnezzar, it made him believe, didn't it? Friend, it made him believe. He said, all that he said, anyone says anything about these boys, God, of His Son, oh, they'll might as well say they'll be hung to the highest post. He put a pretty hard decree, didn't he? Oh, I'm glad today that when I met Jesus, woo, listen, He walked right out of the fire with me. Every time, every storm that we have, He's always there, boys. It won't do. It won't do. I love you, good people. I can't see a part of yous at all. You all look so pretty to me this morning. Oh, but when we get over heaven, I want to shout with ye. I want to sing with ye. I may never see you again, but I'll meet you in heaven, where all things are good and perfect, where Jesus Himself, the lion, the raging lion that people has been so scared of, that Daniel was so scared of, and you know, he had a right to be scared. No doubt he was in nature. Somebody said he wasn't scared. Now, brother, listen, he depended on God, and when they cast him into that den of lions, I believe that he went praying to the God of heaven that we pray to. And listen today, when they thought they would go in and find a pile of bones clean from them lions of Daniel's. Oh, what about that? What about that? Oh, we made kitty cats out of them lions. Yeah. They laid down with Daniel. Listen, God locked their jaws and they couldn't move, listen. But I'm going to tell you something. What was so great when they came down and saw, and they were scared. Daniel hollered something, didn't he? Oh, King, live forever, live forever. God of heaven has delivered me, and He'll deliver you. He'll deliver you. I'll be later. If I lay down, I could just go to sleep. I know. I want to give Him my all. I want to give Him my all. That way, when I come down to die, I can